So, today I'm going to be talking about why I still live at home. There are a lot of good things about living at home, but I feel like the bad outweighs the good. Well, not really, but I guess there's the grass is always greener on the other side. Like, my friends who have moved out, they're like, oh, I wish I didn't have to pay rent and all these things. And then my friends and myself who are still living at home are like, oh, if only we were more independent and had our own place. Yeah, so I'm gonna preface this by saying I am like super, super dependent on my parents, which is not not good. Like I don't have a driver's license, and I have a learner's license, but it's obviously not the same as a driver's license. So a driver's license I don't have, and I don't have a credit card. So if I ever have to make a purchase where I need a credit card, I would need to borrow my parents' credit card and then pay them in cash. And then, in terms of driving, like today, for example, I wanted to go to A&W, and I mean it is accessible by bus, but I feel like had if I had my license and I drove there, I could have gone through the drive-through. And so I was asking my parents, I was like, oh, do you mind driving me to A&W because I am hungry? um, and they said no. So I went to skip the dishes, and skip the dishes, you need. Sorry, my dog is like. Skip the dishes. Skip the dishes, and I needed a credit card, so I paid my mom in cash, and she gave me her credit card, and then I paid the amount to her in cash. So yeah, in that sense, the fact that I'm living at home with my parents, the fact that I don't have a credit card, and the fact that I don't have a driver's license, are all related to the fact that I'm codependent or dependent on my parents. My dog's just walking around my bed. Anyway, so there's that. And another thing, I live with like 8 other people because I have my 2 brothers, my aunt, a tenant, and my cousin. So I don't know how many that is. Wait, so there's my mom, my dad, me, my 2 brothers, our tenant, my cousin. Yeah, 7. Spotify is like, I don't have premium, so because you need a credit card for that, which I don't have. I mean, in terms of credit cards, I could make one myself, but my parents tell me that to not have a credit card because they don't believe that I'll be responsible enough to make the payments on time. And of course, the bank tellers tell me something else. They're like, you have to start building your credit while you're young, or your good credit at least. So there's that. But the main reason I haven't used signed up for a credit card is because my mom tells me to not do it, and like, believe it or not, I actually listen to my parents, and they tell you no, she doesn't listen to us, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that, but I do. And that's why I don't have a credit card, and that's also why I don't have a driver's license. Also because I don't have a driver's license because I took driving lessons for a while, for like a month, and my parents did pay for those, so I'm thankful for that. But they told me to cancel my road test because they didn't think I was ready. So my parents were like, "Oh, cancel your road test," and of course I listened to them and I canceled my road test. And so my learner's license expired, and then I had to renew it. And now I renewed it. The first time I tried to renew it, I failed the knowledge test, which is weird because the first time I did it, before I didn't have anything, and then I made I passed on the first try the knowledge test, but then the time when it expired and then I tried to renew it, I got it. I didn't I didn't pass. But then I did it for a second time. Second time to try to renew it, and I passed. So now I have my learner's license and it expires in January 2020. So in 2019 I really have to get my license, and I'm still going to be dependent because when I don't when I do get my license, I don't have a car. I'd have to borrow my parents' car. So yeah, as you can see, I'm codependent on my parents, and I'm 22. I'm turning 23 next month, and it's really distressing to me. Like I want to say it's because of like my mental health, but no, it's just like the way I was raised. I was just raised to be like being helped. Like I was never independent. Like when I was I stopped drinking out of a baby bottle when I was 7. Like that's when I stopped drinking out of those, like, you know, the baby bottles. Like I stopped drinking out of those when I was 7 years old. And my brother, who's like 11 years old right now, he's still, you know, he still like gets bathed. He still gets fed sometimes. Most of the time he does feed himself, but there are some times where my mom would feed him or my aunt would feed him who lives with us. So I guess that's just, I mean, in some ways it's good, like you get nurtured or whatever, but at the same time it's like really frustrating that you can't do any, like, for example, like taking the bus, which I do. I learned how to take, like, I learned how to do the whole like, you know, insert your money, insert your card, whatever, from my friends. Like that's where I learned how to take the bus, thanks to my friends. Like I didn't learn it from my parents. And don't get me wrong, I'm so thankful for like all the things that I have, but like sometimes you just want to learn to be like do things on your own. Anyway, and I also live in a house. So when I make these types of things, like talking, it's a little annoying because I'm really self conscious. I'm really self conscious about like, what? Yeah, I'm really self conscious about like people hearing what I'm doing because I'm pretty sure the people who watch are like strangers. Like I don't know who you are, but if they are people that I know, then it's fine. But like at the same time, it's like it's kind of distracting when I'm trying to do this, and then there's like people everywhere in the house, and I know I shouldn't care, but whatever. Anyway, so the reasons, I had a lot to say, but now oh, it's 8 minutes already. So I guess I did have a lot to say. Yeah, so I'm dependent. That's one of the reasons why I haven't moved out. Also, I don't have money. Like, I have a little less than 2,000 in my bank account. A little less than 2,000. I make, like, maybe around $400 a week or less, depending on my shifts. So, I'm a support teacher and also a tutor, and I have 2 jobs, and I still don't make that much money to move out just because the living wage in our city or in Metro Vancouver, there was a study done that said if you make, like, the living wage is $20.67 per hour for 35 hours a week. So that's, I'm so far from that, like. And there's also the aspect of Filipino culture and how you, like, girls don't move out until they get married. Well, I'm not in a relationship, so I can't even like find someone to move in with because I'm not in a relationship. I mean, I could get a roommate, which is a good idea, but I don't know. Like I don't think any of my friends, like a lot of my friends are still in school, so they don't want to move out until they're done school, which is totally fine. I'm done school, and I do want to move out, but like I said, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. It's really, and my, how do I say this? Like, yeah, so pretty much the main reason why I still live at home is because I don't have enough money to sustain myself in the current city that I'm in. I mean, I could rent a room in a house, but yeah. No, I always like go on Instagram or Pinterest and there's always these like really amazing like interior design like houses and stuff and I'm like or like whenever I'm on the bus or the train, no, on the bus because the train's different. Whenever I'm on the bus and then I see these like really nice houses and I'm like when will I be able to get that? Like probably in 50 years and I'll be dead. So there's no like I don't because I started working when I was 20 and I'm 22. So I feel like maybe if I started working when I was 14 years old, I would have saved up more money by now to move out. Like maybe if I had started working at 14 years old, I would have had a like I would have saved something by 20 years old. And so I've been in the workforce only for 2 years. So cuz I'm 22 turning 23, so I guess I've been in the workforce for a little less than 3 years. So that's why I don't have enough money, and because I spend too much, which I guess I get the point of the credit card thing. But anyway, the reason why I didn't work when I was a teenager is because my parents told me to focus on school. So that's why. So, I mean, mom knows best, right? And there are some good things about living at home, like okay, I the chores that I do are clean my room and occasionally, very rarely, but like occasionally I'll wash the dishes, but or do laundry. But laundry, I barely do my own laundry. So like I said, yes, I'm very immature and codependent, just the way I was raised. I didn't start drinking out of a proper sippy cup until I was 7 years old. I was drinking out of a baby bottle at 6 years old. I was already in school by then. I think I vaguely remember being on like the playground in elementary school, drinking out of a baby bottle. So, like, I didn't have any at that point. I didn't have any like developmental delays or whatever. It's just that I just wanted to. I guess I just wanted to drink out of the baby bottle, or I wasn't, or my mom didn't think I was ready to transition into a sippy cup. I don't know, but that's the reason. So I don't have enough money. That's one. I live in a city or in an area where it's expensive. Metro Vancouver, Canada is expensive. Yeah, and yeah, there are some good things like saving on money. Yeah, I save money because I don't have to pay rent. I I pay for my food, my expenses and stuff. But in terms of water, Wi-Fi, like just living in a house, I don't pay rent. So that's because I heard that it all adds up. Like once you start paying for hydro and like and the rent and then your food and then I said water already. So it apparently it adds up. Like like it's expensive. Like I think like some places go like for rent it's like $2,000 a month, and there's also the option of buying like a condo or something, but I don't know if they'll approve. Like I think my friend she like applied for jointly with her mom for a um like a loan, like a mortgage loan or whatever, and she bought a condo and now she lives in a condo, but her finances are apparently getting really hard for her. And I mean, I think like an option for her would be to move back home, but I don't think she'd want to do that. But I'm always looking at apartments and like apartments usually like when I'm looking, I'm not really looking for it. Like I'm not gonna go and call the people who are the landlords, but I'm also kind of taking it seriously. I'm not gonna look at like the fancy apartments. I'm gonna look at the affordable ones, the one that's as close as possible to my salary, which is still pretty high. Like so, not my salary. Like the my salary is not high. The the apartment listing renting price, I make sure it's like less than 1,000. But then sometimes, when I'm bored, I like to look at like houses and stuff, like really nice, like condos and really nice houses for fun. But I know I'm never gonna get that. Not maybe in like 20 years, but I don't know. But yeah, so the point is, I don't have enough money, and I'm codependent on my parents, and a little bit disappointed in myself. I know there are people who are like 30 years old and still live with their parents, and that's fine with them, but I want to move out at least like 27. I want to be out of my parents' house. It's just my parents and I don't have a bad relationship, but like I don't know, it's just we don't understand each other. That's the thing. Like I had this friend who was like, "What if you could go back in time? What would you do?" And I'm like, "I would go back in time and meet my parents when they were my age, so I can understand them better because I don't understand them, and they don't understand me." That sounds so like emo, but like, is the word emo still a thing? I don't know. So basically, yeah, I don't have enough money, and there are aspects of living at home that I like, and but I would prefer moving out before I'm 28. And yeah, I'm 22, almost 23, living in my parents' house. Um, yeah, I make less than 400 a week, and I live in Metro Vancouver, one of the most expensive cities in the world. And I need to be making $20 an hour and 67 cents. $20.67 an hour for 35 hours a week in order to. Let me calculate that real quick, what that is for a week. Let's see. Let's see. So $20 an hour, 67. 67 cents times 35 hours a week. Yeah, so I need to be making $723.45 a week, and I make less than 400. So because that's living wage in Vancouver. Yeah, so $20 an hour, $20.67 an hour for 35 hours a week, or around $700 per week, which is a lot more than what I'm making right now. Yeah, so it's a depressing video. I know it's depressing, but what can you do?